Hey, yo everyone, Andrew here, bringing you another video review, and today we're going to be doing my comic load for the week. Now, before we get into the comic load, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, the links are down below, as well as if you want to support me on Patreon, down below. Supporting this channel on Patreon will help me get better equipment and help me get a better setup and hopefully get a mic and maybe do better editing. So, any support you give would be welcome. In addition to that, a lot of you guys have been asking for an updated timeline video for Batman. I do have one in the works. It is not complete yet. When it is complete, I will post it, but the long overdue Batman timeline video 3, I think it is going to be up soon. So that is going to be coming. With that said, let's get into comics because that's what we're here to talk about, and might as well start where we always start, with a little bit of Batman in our life, with Batman issue number 19. We have both covers here, David Finch and Tim Sale. Basically, this is Bane going through Arkham and beating the shit out of everyone. Because Batman is in Gotham trying to help out Gotham Girl, who's dealing with Psycho Pirate, and Bane wants Psycho Pirate back, so Batman releases all the inmates, and basically they go after Bane. This issue is a filler issue. It is to kind of, on one hand, to establish how badass Bane is, but it really doesn't, progress the plot at all, or improve on the plot, or move it forward, or anything like that. It's just Bane beating through everyone. It's a fun issue, but it's not an overly necessary one. But with that said, I have been enjoying this story arc, so I do recommend picking it up. All-Star Batman issue number 8. This issue deals with Mad Hatter, who has been a relatively absent person in the New 52. The only appearance of Mad Hatter since 2011 has to be Batman the Dark Knight, when he had a story arc in there. Yeah, I think that's it. Mad Hatter is a pretty cool villain. He was used a lot in the animated series, quite a bit in the comics during the 90s, but he kind of disappeared. So we get kind of a revitalization of the Mad Hatter in this. This is kind of his standalone story, although at the end of it, I do believe it says the real villain is revealed. Something along that lines. But with that said, I mean, this is Scott Snyder doing what Scott Snyder does best, which is basically telling Batman stories. It's not a necessary pickup. I don't think it's the best book for Batman this week, but it's still fun. So if you are a Bat fan, pick it up. Let's talk about one of the best Bat books this week, Nightwing, issue number 17. So this is Deathwing right here. Don't pay too much attention to him. Although he's the main antagonist for the story, we find out the person that's really kind of pulling the strings on Nightwing. And it's a Nightwing villain from back on the Grant Morrison run on Nightwing. And this has a lot of throwbacks to Grant Morrison's run, as well as seeing Dick as Batman, which is pretty cool. It was kind of always mentioned in New 52, but wasn't really always shown. So we get a lot of nice references to previous story arcs, and I am enjoying this new love interest at the Facer. I mean, obviously I would love Dick to be with Barbara. This seems like they're almost perfect for each other, but it's cool that he's kind of got this other relationship going on. And on a whole, this was a really fun issue. I recommend picking up this story because Nightwing has been hot and cold since Rebirth. The first story arc with Raptor was really good, the Better Than Batman one. The second story arc where he goes to Bloodhaven for the first time really isn't that good, but this story arc is really fun, so pick it up. So, Batwoman, issue number 1. Batwoman is back in the game, and I'm glad about it because Batwoman's been one of the best Batman characters in the past, I want to say, 10 years. I mean, she's just been rocking and rolling really well. Basically, in this, Batwoman's going to this island nation, or this, I don't even know what it is. No, it's Istanbul. My bad. I thought it was some kind of other place. But she's basically looking for Dr. Hugo Strange's Monster Men serum and trying to take that out. While we have this going on, we got some flashes from the past from Batwoman, and it's really kind of a good start-off issue to jump into Batwoman. I recommend getting the Rebirth issue anyways, just to have it in there. But really fun, and Julia shows up, Alfred's daughter, so I like seeing her in there too. On a whole, it's definitely a pickup. Harley Quinn. I finally caught up on Harley Quinn. So again, we have this alien super being who kind of wants to marry Power Girl, and of course Power Girl does not want to marry him. What's even more interesting is the fact that this is like classic Power Girl. If you all do remember, in the New 52, Power Girl was part of Earth 2, and she would eventually become Superwoman of Earth 2. As you can see, this is Power Girl Classic, with even like the boots and the gloves being the pirate boots and the pirate gloves of what she had beforehand. Of course, Harley Quinn is not supposed to be super in continuity, but it's still supposed to be in continuity. That makes sense. It's very loose continuity, but still, fun issue. I mean, it's Harley Quinn. You can't go wrong with it. Issue number 16. Moving on to Power Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers 13. I am enjoying this arc more and more each time. We got some really good moments in there. In particular, a little one-on-one with Jason and Kimberly, which is pretty cool. Kind of cementing their kind of position on the team. Jason as the leader, and Kimberly kind of as the heart of the team. But on the whole, this is really fun, and we get to see more of the dark future that has that alternate universe where Tommy doesn't join the Rangers. This series has been good through and through. Pick it up. Next, we have Angel, issue number 3. So I'm still reading Buffy and Angel. I'm up to date on Angel. I'm behind Buffy on like 4 issues. I still have to finish up the last season and start up this new season. This basically is continuing Angel in the past with Fred and Illyria, trying to figure out Illyria's past and how it kind of connects to Angel, and does it connect to Angel, and what does... Like, I'm enjoying this story and I'm enjoying what's going on, but I really don't get, like, why it's going on. I guess it's cool and unique to go back in the past and do something different, but it's not an overall great story. So I'm lukewarm. Pick it up if you're an Angel fan, but besides that, it's not something that you have to go out and get. Bombshells, issue number 24. I can't comment on this because I am so behind on Bombshells. I'm on issue number 14, so actually I gotta put this aside and read it later. Same thing could be said for the Odyssey of the Amazons. I read issue number 1, but I did not read issue number 2. But let's move on. Those are the only 2 that I'm not up to date on. Superman, issue number 19. This is continuing Superman Reborn. When the final issue for Superman Reborn comes out, I'm going to have a standalone video about my thoughts on Superman in Rebirth and New 52 and exactly what's going on. I wanted to wait to see how they consolidated Superman Rebirth before I actually gave my thoughts on it. But without giving too much away, basically Superman, when the New 52 happened, got split into 2. We have Superman from the New 52 and Superman from Rebirth. And taking kind of a page from a 1997 story, I believe, Superman Red, which is New 52 Superman, and Superman Blue, which is Rebirth Superman. Both are the real Superman. Eventually, I'm sure they're going to merge and fix everything up. Again, I'll comment on this more once the last issue comes out, and I can talk about it as a whole, not only as a story arc, but as a topic. But yeah, this is a good issue. Pick it up. The art is really nice and really fun. Let's talk about another fun comic, Super Sons. Super Sons is just a great comic to get into. Fun, mischievous, 2 teenage kids just causing trouble with Lex Luthor. I mean, the 2 characters work so well, John and Damian Wayne. And even though I've had my hiccups with Superman in Rebirth and New 52 and how they've been handling it, I have no hiccups with John. I welcome him as Superboy. I do wish Connell was around as something. The fact that they just kind of wrote him off pisses me off. Same thing with what they did for Tim Drake. But I am enjoying this duo. Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Green Arrow, issue number 19. This has been one of the best Rebirth books. For 19 issues, it's been consistently good, and we're hitting on some pretty good topics, which is the backstory of Roy Harper as Speedy. And we get not really the origin of him, because we got that beforehand in Red Hood and the Outlaws, but we get to see a little bit more of his relationship with Oliver Queen in this. So I really am enjoying this story, and I'm really enjoying this comic. A must get. Green Lantern, so I felt like I'm missing something here, but this is dealing with Dr. Polaris, which is a very old school villain that controls magnetism. He's like a cheap knockoff of Magneto, but still a dangerous guy when you think about him. And basically the Green Lanterns go up against him. I need another issue for me to really start getting going in this story arc. The writing's good, and I'm glad that they're using Dr. Polaris. Again, I'm kind of lukewarm on it. You know what I'm not new warm on is Aquaman issue number 19. Aquaman has been consistently good through the Rebirth story in the Rebirth series, and this brings Deadwater back, which was a character back in New 52. Basically, it's a water demon that can jump from water to water, and it's incredibly powerful. This is the start of a new story arc. Pick it up. I'm loving this, and I love the art design. I'm a huge Mirror fan. Big time Mirror fan. I'm really enjoying the design that they've been doing on her costume, making it look like seaweed. I know this isn't going to be the best angle to look at it, especially seeing I have the shitty camera, but I'm really enjoying what's going on with Aquaman. Must get. Trinity, issue number 7. For the first time in 7 issues, Trinity is good. Nothing against the other 6 issues, but it was kind of lackluster. But this issue really steps it up. Maybe it was Francis Manapul, which is sad to say because I love Francis Manapul. Maybe it's the fact that we got Colin Budd on here and he's really good. It's really good at one thing, which is writing villains. And guess what is in this? Villains. Ra's al Ghul, Lex Luthor, and Cersei. This is really one of Cersei's first appearances since the New 52. The only other time she's shown up is Men of War issue number 2 of New 52. She wasn't even established as a Wonder Woman villain, but we're kind of reestablishing her as a villain here. So it's kind of cool to see these 3 working together, and it was a solid issue. Final issue is Justice League number 17. Again, I'm not a big fan of this whole timeless story arc. I'm not a whole big fan of this comic in general. It's a shadow of its New 52 self, but it's still pretty good. It's still okay. That's what I really should say. I can't stand the art for Batman in this. Everyone else looks good. Batman looks like a shit. But besides that, an okay story, but I would probably hold off and see what comes up next. So that's my comics for the week. If I had to pick one as my comic of the week, I would probably pick Superman issue number 19 because it's starting to reveal everything about Superman in the DCU. So with that said, I'm going to end this video here. This is Andrew saying peace out for now.